Better at Chess Nation. What is going on? This is Terrence B, and this is video 24 of the 30-day daily chess puzzle challenge. Today we are going to be working on pins, forks, and double attacks. There'll probably be some beginner checkmates in there as well. The puzzles are pretty random, so the puzzles this type of choose, I can't control. I can only control the skill level of them to make them as easy as hard as I want. So that's typically what I do. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, if you are new to the channel, this is your first video, please hit the subscribe button and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I drop new content. Okay, let's get started. All right, so what happened here is that white moved their king down one because we were putting them in check right there. So what I see is actually this right here. Moving your queen here to this square is going to put the king in check and attack that rook. So we're going to go there. The king, of course, had to move, so we're just going to take the rook. Okay, and they had a pawn right there that became a queen. The queen is unprotected, so obviously we can take it. So it's important to look around for that. So that's what we're going to do. And the king is also in check, so the king will have to, whatever the king decides to do next is what the king decides to do next. But since we're up a queen, we're in pretty good position, good shape. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the bishop is pinning the knight to the king. See this knight right here. If this knight moves, the bishop can check the king. So this knight is pinned to the bishop. Or pinned to the king, I should say. So, and the knight has protection. So if the bishop were to take, we just take back with the pawn. So, but again, we don't want to have our pieces pinned too long if we can help it. Curious, wonder if we do this, that'll attack the bishop and protect this knight. So I wonder would the bishop move or would it just take it? Let's try it. Okay, that's the wrong move. Interesting. Maybe that's the move. Okay, that is the move. Okay, so pretty much what we did, we just attacked the bishop. The bishop had nowhere to go. I mean, the bishop can go here, but then that pawn will come up. So either it was just going to be a constant attack on the bishop. So instead of just wasting moves to do that, it was better for the bishop to just take that pawn instead of just wasting moves. So because the bishop was going to get taken no matter what. So they did that, and of course we took with the queen. This is something we would eventually we will have to look out for a way to get past this because we don't want any of our pieces pinned, but sometimes honestly we can't help that. Sometimes our opponent makes a good move that we either didn't see or we did see, but it just kind of had to happen. So, but preferably you would want to make sure none of your pieces are pinned to your king or another valuable piece. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the queen came down to take that pawn. Okay. So immediately what I see is, okay, so the queen is down there. We can move our rook there, right? The bishop will probably come protect here. And then our bishop will probably take that pawn. I think that's it. Let's try that. Okay, there's a check. We don't do that. That's interesting. So what will we do? Because we don't want to do that because then I can just take. That's a waste. Or, we could just do that. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Moving our bishop there to attack this bishop again because this bishop is pinned to the king. So if the bishop, and of course it just means if the bishop moves, the rook will be putting the king in check, and you cannot put yourself in check. So this bishop is not going anywhere. Of course, our opponent put their queen there to check us because they have to do something. So because it's going to be checkmate next move. Black has nowhere else to go. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, their bishop took a rook. So, okay, I mean, I see that. Queen can just take and we just take it back. And then it's also protecting our knight. Well, the bishop can come through. We don't want to do that because the queen, of course, is protecting. We can probably put our knight here to attack the queen and his pawn. Or, actually, better move, put the knight here. It's attacking the queen and that bishop. So let's try that. That's okay. That's the right move. We're not gonna take that. Okay. Oh, we'll probably take that. No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, goodness gracious. No. Oh, wow. We're gonna do that because now the rook is unprotected. Gosh. Okay. So recap. So we decided to put our knight here because the knight will be attacking the queen and the bishop. Once that happens, the queen moves out the way. Of course, the queen is the more valuable piece, so of course the queen's gonna move out the way. Instead of just taking this bishop, which we could, that is an option. The best option is this rook is left hanging, so we take the rook. And now this knight is now this knight is protected by the queen. So now of course this queen is pinned to the knight here because of the queen right here. So this knight just can't move unless it's to put the king in check, where that might have a double attack on the queen. I don't really see a way that can happen though. So that means this knight is pinned to this queen. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay, so here's what I see. I see a nice sacrifice here. And I mean, this is one of those moves where, again, the more experience you get, the more games you'll play, you kind of see this. So this one, I don't know if I would initially see this. This one's kind of difficult. But here's what I see. I see using this rook. Actually, let's read the board. So this rook right here is in front of this pawn. This pawn has one square to move up to before it can promote to a greater piece. A bishop, knight, rook, or queen. So we need to get the rook out the way, obviously. And the best way to do that would be to put the rook here. That's going to put the king in check. So you're sacrificing your rook, you put in the king in check, the king, of course, is going to take. Now you're able to move this pawn up one to a queen. Now the queen is here. It's attacking this rook and attacking this king that's now here. Yeah, and I'm trying to see, is there a... Yeah, that's what I see, because if you were to just move this rook, say, here, this rook could take, and then you wouldn't even be able to promote, so that would be a waste. If you remove the rook, say, here, just away from protecting this pawn, this bishop can come in and swipe it. So, yeah, so that's what I see. So we're going to try that. That is right. Queen, bam. All right, let's keep it going. Okay. So I see this. That'll be a check there with the bishop. Either this queen can take the bishop or this rook. I would bet money that the rook would take it. That way the queen can still keep pressure here on this pawn. And also the rook is definitely going to take it, because if this queen moves, then we have this queen and rook right here. That's going to be a checkmate, because the king will be the only piece guarding that pawn, which makes that pawn very weak. So this move right here is actually getting rid of the defender, another defender of this pawn right here. And then if we also pay attention, we see that we have this rook right here. So once this rook comes up to take the bishop that was putting the king in check, you can move your rook down, and then the king will be in check that way. Now let's see, what else could the king do? I mean, the king could always move over one. But the problem with that is that since this bishop takes this knight, it's directly attacking the queen and the king. So if white were to move the king out the way instead of the queen gets taken. So, but by moving this rook right here, where the bishop is, it takes away the defender that's putting the king in check. You're able to get your rook down here. Now, now your goal would be to get the queen away from this second rank or second file, second row. That way you can move your queen here to put the king in check. So, but we're going to start off with this. Okay, they decided to do that. So we're going to do this. Okay. See, that rook came back. So now when this rook takes this rook, where's the king going to go? Right? Or, you know, what can white do? If white takes with the queen, this queen comes down here, delivers checkmate right there. If white decides to move the king here, this queen still comes to the square, and then white has to move again. And once it moves here, let's see, you can probably bring that rook right here. The queen will probably come. Yeah, okay, so this is just getting interesting. So let's take the rook first. Okay, and they're not going to show what happens, but those are the options, right? White can't move on this horizontal at all. So white's only moves are to take the rook with the queen, where that's checkmate, or to bring the king here, where the queen comes down, puts the king in check. Well, actually, hold up. Would that be a checkmate? No, that wouldn't be a checkmate because the king could always take right here with could always take the rook. And then you would simply move your queen probably here. This knight will come here. Then you take with your queen. Then the king that is here will probably move up here. You swing your rook in. Then the king is stuck. So, you know, it's a lot of different combinations there. A lot of different combinations there. I'm not going to show it in this video, but essentially with this, the goal here is to, you know, once you moved your rook here, your goal was to get this queen away from this file. That way you can deliver a checkmate here. So when this rook took white's rook, you know, white has to figure out what they're going to do. Again, if this queen leaves this second file or second row, that's checkmate. So the king more than likely will move. You bring your queen there. The king probably take that rook, and I would say it's going to be a good game for black. All right, let's do a couple more here. Okay. So off bat, I see bringing a knight here to this square where it would be checking the king and attacking the bishop. And the king can't go here because of the rook guarding this file. So let's start there. Let's see here. Now we could move this here. Let's see what's taking. Okay, so that's probably not it. So maybe this is it. Okay, so now the king goes that way. Okay, now with the king further going this way, then we bring this knight in to attack that. And now the king is stuck in this corner. Like they'll have to go there or there. More than likely they'll go there right here just because they can get to the back row. And then you just have to probably swing this rook here to try to get a checkmate there. So on and so forth. But okay. Let's do one more here. Okay, so this black's bishop came here, and that bishop is pinning the knight to the king. So that means this knight can't move. So, and here's what I see. I see the queen right here. We can bring this queen right here. What the queen is going to do here is check the king and attack this bishop. So that's queen fork, and that bishop is gone from there. So we're going to do that. Okay, and black just brought their knight in there. And actually, I wonder, do you take the bishop first or do you take the knight first? You probably take the bishop because, I mean, the knight has protection. So let's go take the bishop. Okay, and then you just, yeah. So, I mean, that's a simple exchange right there. Yeah, that's a nice little queen fork. That was a mistake by black. And it's important, after I go through the lesson of forks. And I'll of course do some more puzzles for the video, but you'll kind of see. I mean, you'll see forks. You know, it's great for you to see forks. For you, it's even better if you see forks for you and are able to see potential forks against you, where your opponent can have an advantage. All right, because I love you guys, we're gonna do one more. All right, so here's what we have here. So our bishop right here is pinning this knight to the king. Now we also have a double attack here, because if this bishop takes this knight, it's going to be putting the king in check. And it's opening up our rook to attack this rook. Now, of course, this knight would just take this bishop, but then we're gonna grab white's rook. So let's try that. Okay. And that's a check, so they have to they of course have to defend that check. What is best plan of action here? Okay, just taking a rook. And the good thing about taking a rook is that you're sacrificing your rook, but you've grabbed both of your opponent's rooks. So now you still have a rook on the board. They're about to lose their rook, and I think pretty much what you would do here is you would at this point your white's king is going to grab that rook, so you would get your bishop, maybe put it there, or you could just take this pawn. This white would either take back with the knight, or they would move other pieces, because they're down in pieces, and when you're down in pieces, you don't want to sacrifice too many pieces. You only want to sacrifice what's necessary to get you to checkmate. But all right, so this is day 24. So 6 more days. 6 more days, people. Yeah. So if you've liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Share the video with anybody you know who would be interested in seeing chess puzzles and just seeing the analysis and thinking behind the moves. If you like this video, share it, social media, text message, carrier pigeon, handwritten letter, black mark, whatever you have to, just share it to anybody who you think will find this interesting. Also, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, become a part of Better at Chess Nation. So I'm Terrence B. Again, this is day 24. Be sure to watch the rest of the playlists I have. I've put every video in a playlist. Well, actually, I'm going to double check that, make sure. If I didn't, I'm going to make sure every video is in a playlist. But yeah, outside of that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.